This week's NFL Three Bagger is powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com and use promo code Beehive20, 20% off your golf and MLB PA apparel. Swing Juice, wear it, feel it, play it. Christmas is coming. It's a good time to get your someone you love polo for next golf season, right? Right. Use that promo code. Help support us. I get cool mics that light up like that. It's good. Okay. 0-6. Hot garbage last week.
Yeah.
Hot garbage.
For the last few weeks, we've been trash.
McAfee said it best. That the more I watch, the less I know. Sketti's lock of the week did win. We're going to come back to you here with a recap of last week's picks, plus all of our brand new ones. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe Bees and Kylie Munch.
All right, everybody, welcome to Week 10, three-bagger. We recapped last week. Like I said, it was 0-6, hot garbage. The league was flipped upside down. Do not think that we're idiots. Everybody was an idiot last week. Nobody did well.
Yeah, I imagine the sports books did pretty well last
Fucking
week.
crushed last week. For sure. There was, yeah, it was
maybe they'll have a spread the love or whatever.
They need to, yeah. Keep people interested. That was boring last week. It sucked. Yeah, they need to do something. For sure.
Everybody got hammered last week.
Recap of last week. I had the Jets plus 10.5. They tried a backdoor cover. And then
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson threw a pick in the red zone.
He played well, though.
He did play good. Yeah.
I think he led the league in passing yards last week.
No, he didn't.
I think so.
That's two Jets quarterbacks back to back.
Yeah, right.
Holy fuck. Wow.
I think he had like 350, and he didn't even start the game.
No, he missed. He didn't play two series.
Right.
Two was when, because, yeah. So, yeah, they tried a backdoor cover, failed. So that puts me at 0-1. Ravens minus 5.5 win in overtime. 0-2. Raiders minus 3 lose outright to the Giants. 0-3. Kylie, Packers plus 1 lose by 6. 13-7 was that the score?
Huh?
Saints minus 6. They lost outright, didn't they?
That's right. I think
Falcons by 2.
Yep.
Late field goal.
Yeah, both my other picks lost outright.
Panthers plus 4 just got destroyed by the Patriots. So, yeah, we sat at 0-6, waiting for Sketti's lock of the decade, and sure enough, he came through for us.
Thank God.
With Cardinals cover against the Niners, because if you remember, if you're paying attention to Sketti's lock of the decade, it'll always involve the 49ers game. It's just a matter of which way he goes with it. So we'll have that pick here for you in a short time, too. All right, but first, we're going to get to Kylie's first pick. And he's going with the Thursday night game. We got Ravens minus 7.5 at the Dolphins.
I think this is like my fourth Thursday night game that I've picked.
And the one week you didn't, I did, which was the Jets and Colts last week.
And I think I don't know if I lost a Thursday night game yet. I think I was 3-0 on them, the first three. Yeah, I'm going Ravens here over the Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins are really bad.
They suck. Jacoby played last week, right? 2 of them down. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, they just look worse and worse every week. I mean, they barely beat a pretty poor Houston team last week at home. And I've been impressed with Lamar. I got to give him credit where credit's due. And with all the injuries they have, I know they have a couple offensive linemen down now too. And I mean, I got to give that whole team and Harbaugh credit. They're persevering here, and I just think they're going to take care of business against a bad Miami team.
All right. And my first pick to match you here, we got the Bucks minus 9.5 at the Washington Redskins football team. So this is an interesting thing that I saw about this game that I actually noticed it. I didn't see it. It was just something I noticed from looking at last week's bye weeks. These two are both coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that happening? I mean, I'm sure it's happened.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's happened.
But that's just weird. Like I can't remember a time where I was like, oh, they're both coming off a bye week and they play this week. Yeah. So 2 weeks rest and now they're facing off. So reason number one though, Washington 1-7 against the spread. Not good. Also, I think, and I'm not gonna. Okay, I don't want to call this a revenge game because I don't think. I mean, Bucks won in the playoffs last year, but I think that game was a lot closer than Tom the Bomb was comfortable with, and I just think he comes out.
Tom the Bomb.
The Bomb. Yeah. You don't call him that?
I never have. No.
Never have called him that.
No, not once.
Just start calling him that. It's respect. He deserves it.
Old Tom the Bomb.
Tom the Bomb. Yeah, I think he.
Sketti will never call him that.
Sketti loves Tom the Bomb. Big fan. I just think that the Bucks are just way better, and they're going to put up points, lots of them, and Heineke will be playing catch up all day, and he may end up throwing some picks for that reason. So maybe not the Bucks defensive backs are not great, but if you're giving them in a situation where they know the throw's coming, I think they'll play a little bit better. So,
boy, the way everybody looked last week, it just feels to me like
Washington wins outright.
No.
Oh,
it just feels to me like this whole league, how poor everybody looked last week, is lining up just great for Tom the Bomb.
Yeah, it is lining up great for
Tom the Bomb. It just feels like
just to keep doing what he.
Yeah. I know.
It's exhausting.
You imagine if he wins another one? Holy!
Nobody even gets surprised anymore, though. They just are like, "Yeah, all right, well."
Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl again.
Makes sense.
It is unbelievable because I think of that like the people that don't really watch football, but they usually watch the Super Bowl every year, like my sisters or something. They just don't watch football all year. They turn on the Super Bowl and Tom Brady's there again with a different team this time. It's like, oh, Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl again. Imagine that. Oh, he's on a different team even.
He just does it.
Like, what do those people think of it?
Yeah. They probably just think like it's a part of the sport.
Kind of like LeBron.
Like he just has to be.
Right.
He's got to be.
Yeah, well, obviously Tom Brady's going to be.
He won it last year, so they have to play him again.
Right. Yeah.
He gets a pass all the way.
They'd be confused if he wasn't there.
They play the whole season to see who's going against him.
Yeah, it'd be more confusing to them
if he wasn't there. Yeah, they'd be like, is he hurt? Something happened? Yeah. Ain't right. All right, on to your next pick, Kylie. We got the Falcons traveling to Dallas to take on the minus 8.5 Cowboys.
Yeah, I think bounce back game here for Dallas. I don't know what was up. Man, Dak was pretty rough. I just expect them to bounce back here. And I still think they're a good team. The only thing I was a little worried about, which I do like Pollard, Zeke got hurt in that game. He was like icing his knee on the sidelines and stuff. And so I don't know how banged up he is, but I just like Dallas to take care of business here, win by 17 or so. I think they might even double this up.
All right. My second one, we're going where I like to go. My man Dan Campbell and Detroit Lions getting 9 at the Steelers.
Taking people out at the knees.
Taking and getting back up and punching them. We'll get punched. We get down. We get back up. We punch people. Did you see the post I shared the other day? Did you see what he did with the after the whole team watched the tapes from the Eagles game where they just got stomped?
Mm.
They took them outside of the stadium and buried them. Legitimately. Dug a hole and buried the tapes.
Sounds like something Dan
I know. Would do. That's why I posted. I said the Lions keep losing, but Dan Campbell keeps winning. I love that guy. I hated him when I don't know why.
He's starting to turn on you now.
He is. I really, really like Dan Campbell. He's an emotional, passionate dude and cares about his football team and his players, and I just respect it.
I know when you talked about him crying and stuff, you seemed a little weirded out by it and stuff. And I kind of liked it. I remember I was like, I don't know. He's passionate and he cares about the guys at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like anybody would want to run through a wall for that guy. You know what
and
I mean?
That part's growing on me.
Yeah.
That's like, McDermott teared up when they won the East or whatever it was last year. He teared up. So, no. Yeah, I just I was combining everything that was happening with him, and I just didn't really like it. But now all of a sudden, I just love that dude. But Steelers love close games so much. In fact, they're 0-4 against the spread when they're favorites. So I'm riding that wave of. I still think the Steelers probably win the game. Mm-hmm. They've been finding ways to win these close games, but they're allowing teams to hang around. Defense, their defense still continues to play good, but it seems like when they are about to put a team away, they'll allow somebody to climb back close, but enough to where they can maintain the lead with Najee.
And they just don't have that big play firepower like they used to because Ben can't really push the ball down the field.
Well, yeah, and then we looked at that throw chart of his and wasn't everything outside the numbers pretty much?
And like within 5 yards. Anything he threw more than like 5 yards was incomplete pretty much.
Yeah,
other than like
one or two to Chase Claypool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, again, I like the Steelers to win the game, but I think the Lions cover the spread. I do think, the winless teams are my most feared to bet against because the day's coming. It's hard to go and whatever. Has it happened? Sure. Yeah, we've seen it. Cleveland did it. Detroit's done it. Now in a 17-game season, it becomes 1 week harder than it was before. But it's just hard to go against teams like this when they're on the cusp. Plus, not to mention, up until the Eagles game, the Lions had been showing a lot of progress as a team on both sides of the football. Goff got called out by Campbell, and it seemed like that kind of lit a little bit of a fire again up until the Eagles game where they just got destroyed. But they're coming off a bye week, and the Steelers are on short rest, a day of short rest because they played Monday Night Football. So that's a big gap between those two as far as rest goes. So taking the Lions +9, like I said, for weeks, they're due. It's going to happen. They're going to get a win one of these weeks. Kylie's last pick, and actually I'll be quiet on this one because I'm going to say my side also because same pick.
Yeah, we're doing this on Tuesday's tough, so it's. I didn't put a lot of thought or effort into it because it seemed like when I have the past couple weeks hasn't worked out anyway. It's hard when you don't get to see full injury reports and stuff. But what we do know is that Rodgers isn't guaranteed to play. And we do know that Russell Wilson's coming back. So I like Seattle here getting 3.5, especially with the fact that we don't know if Rodgers is even going to play. So, I like the Seattle team. They need to make a push now with getting Russ back. They need to make a push to try to get into the playoffs in the NFC.
And I'm going the same route with my last pick, my third and final for the 3-bagger. Like Kylie said, status of Rodgers still uncertain. The earliest he could return to the team is Saturday. So it would be the day before the game. He'd miss walkthrough. Of course, this isn't a guy who needs all of that per se. Kind of has a fucking clue what he's doing out there.
Yeah, not any more than Jordan Love does.
Right. Yeah. Jordan Love probably, needs to be prepping all week because, like you said, he looked pretty unprepared against Kansas City. Who has a terrible pass defense. So Russ is back, like you said also. Russell Wilson returning. They said that his recovery has been miraculous, I think
was what the doctor said, yeah.
So
he said he couldn't believe it, and he said that the therapy and stuff, he said he was the most committed patient he had ever seen to the therapy and stuff. And
well, and again, that just goes back to when we were talking about the Rodgers issue earlier in episode 34, that he puts so much money into maintaining his body and everything. Like it's an insane amount. But these two teams always seem to play pretty tight anyways. So I think regardless of who was getting points here, that'd be probably the side I would go with.
Especially being more than a field goal. Yeah.
Right.
Getting that hook there.
It helps you out for sure. All right, the last one before we close her down for the night. Sketti's lock of the decade. Sketti, if you're in the comments right now, you should probably give some insight into this because you didn't give me a whole bunch except for you said the Rams haven't won in. Actually, that was a really funny conversation. He texted, the Rams haven't won in San Francisco in like 2 years, and you put neither is the 49ers. So. Yeah, he likes 49ers this week.
His argument was they don't have to win. They just have to
Well, they
not
don't
lose
have to
by
win.
more than 4.
Right, and he's right. I mean, he's right. For the sake of betting, they don't have to win the game. They just have to cover the spread. So, Sketty's lock of the decade, always a 49ers game. And like I said, it just depends on which side he goes. I think he's 1-2 now since he started doing the lock of the decade. 1-2. So, pretty locked in.
About as locked in as the Niners have been.
Yeah. Colt McCoy. I still can't get over that
Oh, man.
part. So, all right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us tonight on episode 34 and now in the Three Bagger Show. Once again, I want to thank the sponsors, Swing Juice, Napoli's Pizza, YourDailyLocal.com, Mean Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, Icy Inc., and the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast. Until next time, next week. Don't know which day it's going to be yet, but we'll post that like we always do. But until then, take care. Be safe.